We're good to go?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Alrighty. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 11 of Your House, Our Rules.
Number 11.
How the hell are we, people?
We're good. I'm good.
Doing all right. Living life.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lucky number 11, as they say.
My favorite number. So
Nobody
this is going to
says
be
it.
my favorite episode, right?
Maybe. Yeah. That probably adds up, which means next episode will be my best episode because I'm a big number 12 guy. Do you have a favorite number, Max?
15. I used to wear that when I played basketball. Always.
Okay.
I don't know
See,
why.
I couldn't have a favorite number of sports I was playing because as the tubby kid, you just get like number 70.
Oh, yeah. As the one who was a little bit tall, I remember that. All the like bigger kids, the taller kids all had to wear like 54 and like the 40s
like,
and stuff. And all
even
the
in like
kids.
basketball and baseball, I'd be like number 58 and like number 52. It was like, oh, there's the offensive guard pitching for the team.
Yeah.
I remember. It's like everybody knows exactly. Yeah.
I remember AAU ball one year, or not AAU ball. What was that shit that we played in? Like it was the high school.
CYO.
CYO, yeah,
Yep.
the CYO.
No idea.
Fucking Joey stole the number 11 from me. I was so pissed, dude. I was so pissed.
You haven't gotten
Pissed
over it.
over
It's
that.
still haunts you to this day, does it?
He still holds it over my head to this day, bro. To this day.
That son of a bitch.
But anyway.
That old sandbagger. Well, today we are, I guess, we're I guess 2 weeks out from George Floyd. The protests are still going on,
Yes.
and so I kind of just wanted to talk about some of the good things that are coming from the protests so far. First thing that I saw and noticed was a bunch of statues getting taken down of Confederate symbols, like Confederate Army soldiers, Confederate
Icons.
leaders, icons, just other random controversial figures in history. And it is, I mean, it is like a cool thing, and it's got a much deeper meaning, but it's awesome just to see 20 people just rip a statue straight out of the ground and chuck it into the lake.
That sure does piss off some people. I don't know why.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
That really boils
there's
some
a-
people's fucking blood.
I got one person on my Facebook page that's still really holding to his guns, man.
Really?
Like, yeah, man. Like, why are we doing all this? Why are we burning or taking Confederate flags down? And I'm just like, dude, you need to chill the fuck out, bro. Posting shit like if it offends you that a flag flies, well, it offends me that people wear their pants down low and like have their boxers hanging out and shit. And it's like how do you
one
even fucking
equates
compare?
to the other.
Dude?
Yeah.
Like,
Basically the same, yes.
What are you talking about, dude? It makes zero sense at all.
And those are the people you can't even argue with because they're just that, like,
Oh,
they're
no.
just that far
I'm
gone.
gonna
Like,
be honest,
you
too.
could never.
I'm gonna be honest. He's a family member too. And
Oh,
it's just like,
that makes it easier.
You know this Philly's a little bit more than he does, but we're
Yeah.
all the same person, bro. They're stubborn as shit and just won't fucking back down on a damn thing.
It is a very stubborn people,
Yeah.
the Phillies.
No,
But
Phillies
yeah,
are some
that's
stubborn people.
that is hilarious. But yeah, things are kind of starting to get set into motion, and some things are very important. Some things are actually just like funny things that people are doing, like
Yeah,
chopping
yeah.
down statues and throwing them in rivers.
That's
and
not
lakes.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
It's like
but
funny, but it's got a deeper meaning. It's got a way
Yes.
deeper meaning, yes.
We'll dip
but
into
it's
that
funny
later,
to
yeah.
watch people cheer as these giant marble statues are getting tossed into harbors.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there's actually, I mean, the actual good coming from it is there's over 20 cities that have removed statues of Confederate or other controversial figures in history. So we are taking these, like, I mean, we're making statues to be like, these are our, like, you're holding them in such high regards for this long. It's kind of crazy that they were still up. So it's a good thing they're being taken down. And watching the videos of people chopping the head off of a Christopher Columbus statue and then dragging him into the harbor. I think it was in Bristol, Connecticut. I could be wrong there, but that was actually really funny.
I thought that I saw that. I thought that it was like I've seen beautiful things. Like I've seen like beautiful cinematography, like great things on screen. I saw that and I was like, I've lived where I'm supposed to live. You know, because
Really?
I've always questioned, am I living in the right
Like time period.
time period?
Okay.
You know, and I've always questioned that, like, since I was a kid, you know, like, and it was because, I guess, you know, being the black kid in Mexico, like, oh, like this, I mean, what time period is this? Like, oh, you know, and then being the mixed kid over here, like, oh, what time is this? Like, you know, like, I was never actually in a time period either mentally or I guess physically, you could say, where I belonged. And when I saw that happen, it finally dawned on me that I was here to see that happen.
I mean, it is crazy that.
And I took that like as a beautiful fucking revelation
it is
to me.
Beautiful.
I was like, yes, do it.
Right.
I was like, do it,
Yeah.
do it. I really wanted every bone of my body to be there, and it almost disappointing that I was not a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it is still, I mean, I agree. Like in terms of you being here for it, I agree. Just being in the time frame that sort of change is happening is like an enlightening thing to know. It's like,
I mean,
we're working towards something here. At least.
And I do believe that we are in a space and time where, like it or not, where we are, you guys being like. This is not being an ass or anything, just like your quintessential West Sider guys.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, that's what you are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just being able to be the quintessential West Sider guy and see how things can change in front of your eyes. You know, how the beauty of, you can call revolution or revelation, whatever it may be, how this comes about and how you are a part of it just because you're at that age.
Right.
Like, it's a really beautiful thing that we're living in. And I will tell you guys that are listening or you guys that are watching us, be part of your generation. Because if you try to push back on the generation that you're about, it's really not going to be as satisfying when you look back later on. Be a part of it. I really do condone being a part of what is happening at this point in time. Us as people, like just us three, like even if we're here just talking on the mics and talking to the people or whatever they're watching us, I know not a lot of people watch us, but honestly, just what we can do with our words and how we are and how old we are, not old, not young, we're just here.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is the age that we're at. We're just here. You're not young, you're not old, we're here. And this is our time to fucking make sure that everything happens either the way that we want it to happen or the way that, or at least give it a direction to where we think it should be.
Try to give an effort to actually push for what you want.
I believe that's a beautiful thing that we have this capability.
Right.
Us, our age, the people that are talking right now, the people that we're talking to. Like, I believe that it's a beautiful thing that we can say, hey, this is what we can sway the world toward.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, I really do. And it's not because I'm talking on the fucking podcast, honestly.
Yeah, no.
It's really not.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
This
the
is
fact that the
legitimately,
bigger
like,
picture.
from my heart.
I mean, you were talking to me about this earlier, like this week or something. You're like, even if like I don't make a dime off the podcast or I'm not like well known for it, just the fact that I have that on camera and fucking on a soundbite just to show my fucking kids and my grandchildren, like, yeah, I did that. I was out saying something about some shit that fucking actually fucking mattered.
Right.
And fucking,
and
maybe
even
not
if
everyone listened, but some people listen.
Right. At least we were trying to have people listen. It was an attempt, at least, right?
Just the beauty of you being able to talk the way you talk.
Right.
Right? Just through these mics, to you people watching us and to you people listening to us, just for us to be able to talk to you through this has been beyond what I thought that I was going to achieve. And honestly, I never understood what an achievement was. I never really did. But to be able to talk to as many people that want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, say this podcast.
Yeah.
It's just as many people as want to listen to me that I can talk to. I've never in my life thought that as many people wanted to listen to me would.
Right.
You know? But I mean, it's simple. It's like a really simple thing. It's a grain of salt in the fucking great fucking life, you know, like it's the grain of the fucking sand on the beaches. Like, I mean, like, it's so simple,
it's a
but
small thing,
so
but it
great.
makes such a difference.
Small thing,
Yes, it's
but
such
it
a
means
difference
so
to
much
me.
to us. I mean,
Yes.
I put it on Facebook the other day. I was like, after episode 10, I was like, there's like probably, from what I see with the analytics and stuff, there's like 100 people that watch every single episode that we do. So, and like, just from the bottom of my heart, I want everyone to know who watches this on a weekly basis.
For sure.
I thank you very much. This is something that I have worked very hard to do, and I want everyone to know that I appreciate every single click that I get from this fucking
For sure.
from this podcast.
Big time.
Every single pick. And I know these two feel the exact same way about it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So,
But yeah, I mean, it is cool to see these like figures and statues that have been up for 50, 100, 200 years getting ripped out of the ground and I mean, defaced to shame, and it's necessary and it needs to happen, honestly.
But it's shameful. I mean,
Right.
like, oh damn, we tried to keep all the fucking slaves, but it's heritage.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well, I
crazy.
mean, it's kind of, I don't know. It's the losing side of a fucking war, and we usually, you know, don't have those type of things. Like we don't stick with the fucking losers. Like, hey, losers, like, man, you didn't get to keep your slaves, so but you can still rub it in every black person's face.
yeah, people are still flying fucking Nazi flags in Germany and shit like that.
No,
Fucking,
it's kind of.
Yeah. It's just time for this shit to get taken down. It's too long, it's too far. You're not going to use your Southern pride as a fucking back.
And you know
to
what?
Fucking keep it up. And I understand where they're coming from to an extent, but it's like,
Your freedom
You
of
gotta weigh the
expression is
options.
fine, but when it's like monuments that are like paid with taxpayer money, like that are in public parks for the whole world to go to, like that's different. Like if you want to wear a rebel flag on your fucking shirt, I can't tell you not to.
yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Right.
I may feel some type of way about it, but I'm not going to be mad because that's what you want to do, right?
Right.
But if I gotta go down to the park with my daughter, and you know, like, oh, you know, this was a general
Who's
that.
Daddy, and then you got
Then you got
this racist ass motherfucker. It's like,
That is,
And
I
why
mean,
is
that
he
is
in the
a
middle of the park, Daddy?
That is a horrifying. Well, yeah.
You know?
That's crazy.
This is what was the first thing we want our kids to see at the park is this guy, leader of the Confederates. I mean, that's a terrifying thought. Just that you thought of that, like bringing your kids up to something like that, and just being like, "Oh, this is somebody who's a human piece of garbage. We made a statue of him to put on display for everybody to act like he's a hero, but he actually sucks."
Yeah, man, wild.
And yeah, I mean, just kind of playing off of that, the Confederate flag is getting banned in a lot of places. Just the one biggest one, and this is sports related, but it's like NASCAR
yeah.
is the
NASCAR guy,
biggest Confederate flag community ever.
Yes.
It feels like it's at every like pregame. You'll see them in the stands during races and stuff like that. I don't watch NASCAR, but everybody knows. It's like NASCAR and the Confederate flag
It's
are
a
like
very
one and the
southern
same.
background, dude. There's
And so they did ban that, and actually one of the worst maybe car drivers in the history of the sport said he's going to quit racing NASCAR because they're getting rid of the Confederate flag.
So
He's getting flamed, wasn't he?
You said he's like the worst NASCAR driver ever. Like, have you seen the stats?
I just know that he has 0 wins in like 4 years
Well, I
on
think
the
Well, dude, when you're looking at NASCAR, because
I know there's people, yeah.
There's like 3 people that win every single NASCAR.
But I think
race.
his personal high was 33.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Oh, okay, I didn't see
31
that.
place.
When nowadays
tough.
there's only like 43 cars in the fucking race, that's fucking wrong.
He just averages bottom 10. Yeah, that guy sucks.
It is just terrible.
I've never seen somebody like so publicly shamed, like when every part of Twitter came together and was like, this guy fucking stinks, and like everybody was going after him all days. I mean, it was something to see. It was like a fun afternoon of people just roasting this guy
rough,
alive.
man. It's rough out there, man. I saw a soccer player got kicked off of his team because his wife tweeted "All Lives Matter," and because of that,
I saw that.
Off the soccer
I saw that. I can't remember who that was for, but 1,000%. It was an MLS player.
shit.
And that did happen, but I totally forget who
I
the
didn't
guy's
hear
name
about
is.
that. I heard about who was it? The mayor? Was it the mayor of Minneapolis, or it was a mayor of some city? Somebody was telling me.
I know.
Minneapolis.
And they started doing the shame thing to him, bro.
Dude, it was
That is
degrading.
the all-time degradation. Right?
Yes, I'm gonna Google really quick how old this guy was, because he's a relatively young looking person as he's like walking. And the best part is like they start booing him as he's only halfway through the crowd. He's got another like 200 yards to go because it's the full street. I mean, he's at the 50 and people are like shaming him to the end zone. It is one of the funnier
Like some
things of all
straight
time.
Game of Thrones shit.
Dude, that's crazy.
I mean,
bro.
even if he was to blame or wasn't to blame, whatever the situation may be, dude, that sticks with you for the rest of
That
your
is
life,
all
bro.
time. Just like you just the Game of Thrones was such a a fucking cultural phenomenon and shit like that, and like everyone hated Cersei. Everyone hated Cersei, and fucking when she finally got hers and she got shamed and shit like that, and that's happening to fucking you in real life. Get real.
She was like the
that's
worst of the
traumatizing.
worst people in the realm, and you started to almost feel bad because of how mean shaming her in public was. Like that's how much a shaming can go. A good classic shaming. This is actually, and nobody will be able to see this, but Google this guy. His name is Jacob Frey, mayor of Minneapolis.
Yes,
So he's 38 years old.
So he's a young guy.
So he is younger but he's not a bad looking fella. He's just a normal ass looking dude.
he got his ass shamed.
But
though.
dude, he got his dude.
What are those little dimples? That motherfucker got like 40.
He's got
dimples,
like
bro.
18 dimples. Yeah.
You see that shit?
I did, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah,
He
no.
deserves to be
I
shamed.
mean, I don't know. He might lose those after the shaming. I don't know how that works, but he might never be able to smile again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure did turn that smile upside down.
Another thing circulating is petitions to basically deem the KKK as a terrorist organization.
How do you need petitions for that? Blows my mind.
Correct.
Like, nobody says, oh, a group that goes around killing people for apparent fucking reasons. Apparent reasons.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, you should deem them. You shouldn't have to say, like, oh, somebody sign up on this so that we can deem them terrorists. Well, no, motherfucker, they're burning people. But
Yeah, I mean, it's like the most openly terrorist group in history. Like, they just have photos with each other with a cross burning with people on it.
Yeah.
And this has been happening for hundreds and hundreds of years.
yes.
And everybody's like, I don't know if we give them the full terrorist tag.
Oh, and this is the thing
It's
that,
like, what?
that always comes to, well, Democrats built it. Well, I ain't talking about political things. I'm talking about the fucking KKK. I don't give a fuck who invented it.
yeah.
One time, fucking Democrats and Republicans' fucking viewpoints were just like completely
They were.
flipped.
But, I mean,
Completely
yeah, it's not a Democrat thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say, well, Democrats
that's-
invented it. But
Well,
we're talking
right.
about the racism. That wasn't invented by a political party.
In that case, I would tell them, well, you're a Republican. You used to be a Democrat. Like,
It's such a terrible argument to make. It's
is
like,
it's so
oh yeah, well
horrendous,
they used to be Democratic. It's like, how does that make a difference?
Yeah,
I still don't. I want them to be a terrorist. You're gonna fuck those people. Like, how does that make a change?
The
Yeah.
people that are like seriously still behind, like, or not with the Black Lives Matter, like the All Lives Matter type people, they are fucking lost.
And they're reaching
They
really
are
hard for
really
everything. Dude.
Reaching, dude. I saw my cousin fucking tweeting some shit online, and his girlfriend just went off on him, dude, in the comment section. Just like, what the fuck are you doing? You are always on Facebook. Get the fuck off of here. No
Oh,
one gives a
no.
fuck about your opinion.
His
Fucking-
girlfriend?
Yeah, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He was like, fucking get off and spend some time with your pregnant girlfriend type shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That is like that's like a mom grabbing the
Yeah.
kid by the ear in like those old timey films when
Wipe
you get
it
in
the fuck
trouble.
down, huh?
Yes, she just did that in the Facebook comments. That is awesome that happened. I mean, that's a public shaming. Honestly, that's tough.
Oh, she bodied him. He deserved it too. He's
Oh, you definitely deserve it in that way.
Yeah, I am for the disbanding of the KKK and them being tagged as a.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I wish there was
terrorist
just a
group.
way to get rid of every single one of them. Goddamn. But yeah, and I don't know
that's not
how
gonna
the
happen.
well, right, and I don't know how the how it would be for the government to just recognize them. I don't know. If that would just be President Trump saying
No, they
these are
fucking
now
know.
Yeah, I don't think that
terrorist
there's,
group.
I don't
or
think that there's any
if
way
it's
in
like an
hell-
actual like bill that has to be like passed or some
No,
sort
the
of doctrine.
You can be put on the FBI terrorist list without a bill passing.
Right.
You just have to be
Or, yeah, not a
considered
bill,
a
I guess.
terrorist. Yeah.
That's just
and they're
insane.
never going to consider the Ku Klux Klan
Because-
a terrorist because look at how many of our fucking leaders are actually like you can't really prove that they're a member of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, but they're
like,
just intertwined
guess
into
what they-
civil infrastructure.
Some of those who work forces are those who burn crosses, bro. Rage Against the Machine.
Guess what they found out in Alabama though? There was this group of 12 police officers that were part of the KKK, you know, sporting their General Lee flags, the rebel flags.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like 1996 to like 2016 or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. It was like a 20-year period. It started in the mid 90s, right? So don't quote exactly the date, but they were caught planting drugs and guns on black people over and over and over again, right? And the good cops were telling the district attorney, hey, this is what's happening. District attorney is like, yeah, rips paper. I don't give a fuck, right? 20 years. Everybody was telling what was going on. Nothing was happening, dude. Mm-hmm. Thousands of men went to jail. Thousands of black men in those 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Over things that they didn't have. And then it's, well, why are you skittish from the cops? Why you run away from the fucking cops? Well, fuck, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
because
For
they
20
fucking plant drugs on us and fucking just rewrite slavery fucking basically with our prison system.
But check this. That didn't get fixed in 20 years. And I heard this on some, I don't know, it was like the Young Turks or some shit like that. He was like, imagine you take a couple thousand white people and put them in a basement for, 20, 30, 40 years for the rest of their life. You think something would change?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty crazy how that,
yeah.
it's true though.
It would be
is.
instantaneous change. Honestly. And that's upsetting in so many ways that's the case, honestly. And speaking of like you saying it's terrifying, there was a video and it breaks your heart because it's just this little kid playing basketball. And I think it was House Highlights or Bleacher Report just put this up on Instagram today of little kid, like, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years old, shooting basketball in his front yard. And a cop just slowly drives by and the kid like ducks for cover behind his car, like scared to death of the police.
Well,
and it's just like, it breaks your heart.
Well, that's how it
honestly.
is in
Right.
a lot of, cities or in small towns. It's not just in big cities. Small towns,
Right,
sometimes
right.
it's a lot worse
Right,
because there's
Just
so much,
not as many media members.
yeah,
to
and
like,
there's a lot more, like, I guess, unit cohesion in small towns. Like, if I say no, everybody's got my back. It's kind of like, because it's like all one type of
Yeah,
way of life.
Small town mentality, bro.
It's like, we do what we do, and this is how it's done. So if we
Right.
like it, cool. If not, it doesn't matter. We're going to do
Right.
whatever the fuck we want. Yeah, it's a dangerous place to live in. This earth.
And those were kind of the big points of the stuff that has been coming of the protests. Just in general, the protests are still going on.
Yeah.
There's still conversations. There's still social media posts every single day, which is great because I feel like in the past it usually would die out after a week and a half, 2 weeks. But it's something
it's
that
not
is
going anywhere right now.
continuing, right? And it's something that we need to keep talking about. Another point, even the NBA is supposed to be coming back late July, and now there are players saying that they don't want to play, that
Because
the
of
league should
that?
be focused on the issue instead of playing.
kinda
It's 50-50. Some players are in the camp of like, if we need to just like focus solely on civil or social justice, don't focus on basketball. And some are saying, well, let's use the basketball to bring the message, like, just anything, post-game interviews, pre-game interviews, wearing matching
really-
clothing
I
with
mean-
messages on them. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. I don't have one way about it or not. And that's one of the better parts about the NBA is because the league commissioner, Adam Silver, the NBA is so miles ahead of everybody else in terms of like allowing their players to have a voice that when he was asked like, oh, what are you going to do if players feel that they are going to skip the playoffs to fight social reform. He's like, oh, if that's what they want to do, I don't care. They're not in breach of their contract. They can. I mean, they're grown men if that's what they want to fight for.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome. I wish every league was like that. But yeah, that is the NBA. They've had a lot of conversation, and
I think that
will
would be
continue.
I think that would be a really good thing for the movement if they just shut down the basketball and shit like that. Because like, if it's like, that's going to piss a lot of people off. And if you fucking piss people off enough, maybe they'll be willing to fucking change. But
right. In a way, yeah, and that's why that's why protests in a lot of times have to be extreme, because if they're too little, then nobody's going to care.
No one listens.
Right.
And that people are listening now because the shit's getting fucking real.
Right.
People's shit's getting fucking burned down and fucking windows broken and fucking. Actually, they've calmed down. They've calmed down a little bit, but I mean, I think Minneapolis is still fucking.
But I think that was the blowing of the lid at the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
The complete and total chaos of the situation.
Right.
Now, of course, it's going to evolve into a little bit more, I guess, strategic gatherings and more of a
more organized,
more of a solution and not an outcry.
Right.
Which, I mean, of course, it is an outcry, but it's not the
it's starting
loud,
to become more of a solution.
It's not the loud, violent response to murder. It's now, how are we going to mitigate the situation in the future?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing in terms of mitigating this situation that has been brought up, is defunding the police departments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
I don't think that we should defund them at all. I think that we should just focus the fucking funding into different aspects of it. Better training for police officers and stuff like that. Better education for police officers. Not necessarily take money away from them. Because I think if you take money away from the system, things are going to get worse. Because then people can get away with the shit that they can't usually.
That would need to be actually policed.
Yeah.
I guess defunding police doesn't really, I mean, in my point of view, wouldn't fix it. Because like you said, I mean, if anything, we would have to focus, like, all of those, what are they called? Like, when they snatch your shit and it goes to the police officer, is it like a civil fucking arrest or some shit? A civil...
Yeah, you can, a civil arrest?
Well, not a civil arrest. It's something...
Citizen's arrest. Is that what you're calling it?
No. So instead of taking you to trial or something like that, the police the police department can say, well, we caught you with this, and this. We'll take it, and you can just pay your bill and go home. We keep your shit. That's how a lot of them make money. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's kind of fucky because at that point in time, it's the person that is getting caught is pretty much getting bribed into giving their stuff away so that there's no trial.
Right.
So just give me your stuff, pay your bail, don't worry about it. If you go to trial, you can be proven innocent and take your stuff. So it's like that, scaring people into it. And that creates a lot of revenue for the law enforcement agencies. I think that those things should be fixed. Like, you can't just, cease shit because you don't want people to go to trial.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Don't defund it. Take the funding and put it into reforming the entire entity.
Right, the internal. I agree with that. I'm not against the defunding either. But I think just the overall, the infrastructure of it, the money needs to be placed in different areas.
In different areas.
Yeah.
But it is crazy though, because I mean, if you say like education, they just say, oh, we'll just cut budget for fucking education.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But like if it's law enforcement, we don't do that. Well, what?
Yeah, never.
How? So you're willing to have more ignorant people than fucking good police officers? Like, it's like, what? Like, how?
It's a weird.
How are we willing to cut
who
for
makes
education?
these decisions?
Yeah. Well, we know who makes the decisions.
Well, yeah.
Our elected officials.
Yeah.
The people. Yeah.
But yeah, now defunding them. I think if they, like you guys said, focus to have good training,
right,
cultural training. Because it's not just what's, escalation of force and de-escalation of force and what the laws are. Like, legitimately understand what these cultures in that city that you're in, like, understand where they come from, how their traditions are, how they've been marginalized, and how we can fix the relations. Like, there has to be a lot more community relation training instead of just when to pull your weapon or not.
Right.
Because,
1000%.
honestly, that's a hard thing to do. Because when you're afraid you're going to pull your weapon, it doesn't matter. right?
Right.
You should train better. But the community relation part, being able to talk to people and get your message across without pulling a weapon,
Yeah.
that needs to be focused on a lot.
Right. Because it could, I mean, learning all of that could change the way that the entire scenario plays out, where you
Correct.
might not ever get scared enough to pull a weapon.
Yeah.
If you understand the people that are there, the culture itself, then you can talk your way through it without everybody going ballistic or
Yeah, and I mean,
anything
every
like
once in a while, of course, you're going to have
Well,
a violent confrontation.
of course.
You know, it's just the way it is. You know,
Right, right.
If you're any type of security, it's going to happen. You can be the bouncer at the bar, or you can be the damn, SWAT team member. Like,
that. Right.
you're not going to beat somebody's ass every day, but it might have to happen. But there should be a lot of steps to get to that point, especially if you're a trained professional.
Right.
I was actually just watching, right there, I was doing some laundry in my room, and I was watching the new podcast that Joe Rogan has with that Jocko, whatever his name is. Y'all know who I'm talking about? That big fucking ex-Navy SEAL dude who has a podcast and shit like that. And he's like, when I was training for the SEALs, he was like, we had an 18-month training course that taught us specifically that, how to de-escalate, how to decompress, how to do all that, how to go into a fucking fighting zone and know when you should need to draw your weapon, when you might need to fire it, or when you should just be calm and try to de-escalate the situation. He said some shit like cops have like 3 days of that every year or something like that. Like it's just ridiculous to see the opposite spectrums of it.
Right.
It's like
I mean, you can't necessarily equate a Navy SEAL to a.
I understand.
Well,
I
right,
understand,
right.
I understand that.
But yeah, I mean,
that's the
it's
thing
crazy.
that I'm just making. It's like, because there is so much responsibility on the police and the Navy SEALs, but the police have to do it with our people, and they should be trained more to not use their weapons, because these are our people.
Right. Right.
So.
1,000%.
Unless you're in a skewed system where, like, those 12 guys from fucking Alabama were just there to
Yeah.
get...
Just
and,
to,
no,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was legitimate. I think they were found guilty of planting the guns and drugs on Jews and blacks, but there's not many Jews in fucking Alabama. So...
Yeah, man, you can watch videos of like body cams. They're all over the place of them planting drugs on black people. All the
And still, the 18,000 law enforcement agencies, it's still voluntary to send up the information from their cases. Voluntary. Voluntary.
I mean, that's just
like, why? Like, oh, you can do whatever you want. If you want to show me what happened, that's fine.
Maybe.
If you don't, that's fine too. Like,
This is all voluntary. Wink, wink. Yeah.
that's exactly probably why it's voluntary. So that you can do your fucking dirt and be like, well, it's voluntary. Well, yeah, we cover your ass if you say it's voluntary.
Yeah. There's got to be a loophole there.
Yeah, there's a
because
loophole.
like they don't have to. Maybe. I mean, if everything comes back to bite you, you're just a voluntary person or something along those lines.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like those documents that come from like the CIA and the FBI.
Yeah, it's just
that
like,
are all
this is
blacked
just
out.
voluntary. I mean, this is anonymous. So
No, but it's
technically-
like they get all of these documents about like the crazy shit that the government's doing, like to its own citizens and shit, and it says the date was blank 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 and blank 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 blank
Redacted.
this
Redacted.
blank. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is the point of this?
They're all.
shit?
It is. It's just
going on?
white out,
Yeah.
line after line.
all blacked out, and you get like one sentence out of 40 pages. Well, that doesn't really help you out.
It's so true. And I mean, there are other things going on with these protests that aren't these massive bullet points that are happening on the massive media markets. But yeah, those were the ones that I wrote down. The other one was the FBI reopened the case of Breonna Taylor, and I don't know if. I'm sure you are. Have you heard of Breonna Taylor?
Yeah,
Oh,
Breonna
wait.
It was a girl in an apartment complex where cops came in, just basically opening fire while she was sleeping and killed her. They weren't even there for her. I believe
Apparently
they were there for her boyfriend.
that had a warrant. Boyfriend
Yes.
wasn't in the house. She was asleep, and she got shot. What, 7 times?
Yes.
Okay.
Just unloaded fire. Either in I don't know if it was just straight through the front door or if it was into the bedroom door. But yeah, they just opened fire, and then those people never got. I mean, obviously, because that's what happens. Yeah, none of the cops were charged or anything like that. But the FBI reopened the case. I believe it was last week. So I mean, that's another. It isn't something that should have been done 3 months after her death. But luckily, the protests are at least showing that some of the stuff is changing, hopefully.
Well, I mean, hopefully it is changing, because if it's going to take this fucking protest every time somebody gets shot 7 times,
Right.
like the next time it fucking happens, like you think this was bad.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
insane.
They get worse.
Like they can only get worse.
Yeah, it is.
Right,
I mean, it is
they
only
don't get
gonna
better.
worse. I mean, that's kind of. Do you guys have anything else to add? Anything that you guys have heard, or we can go right into talking about what's been going on with us lately, random stuff?
I mean, I'll lead off with that one because your boy finally got the fuck out of Allied window.
That's exactly right.
Dude. Yeah, I finally got a job. It's a desk job, and fucking I've been searching for one for a while. It's not an audio video job, but I
Can't win them all.
you can't win them all. And I'm starting to think that with the audio video job, at least in Cincinnati, searching for a job in there, it's probably smarter to just focus on my own thing. Maybe start like an LLC or my own production company and stuff like that. And because I have been grinding my ass off on certain shit like that, so I'm thinking that might be the direction I do that. I'm still going to look and keep an eye open, but it's so saturated in Cincinnati with
What are
all
you
that
going to
stuff.
focus on if you're going to do your LLC?
Audio production, specifically music, I would want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my big things that I always wrote about when you had like those introductions into college, like those paragraphs or like essays that you had to write, I always told how my dream job would be to own my own music production studio. Like that would be so sick for me. I love doing shit like that.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, but it's something that you build over the years. I mean, look at all the stuff that I've accumulated through my tech shit, like gaming setup and out here, just like over the years. I've been building this shit since I was like 14, 13 years old. So.
Yeah, got a nice collection.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but new job, finally out of Allied, and that's a huge step in the right direction in my opinion.
Do you like? So are you 2 weeks in now? Is this like, or is this your
is my
second week? Okay. So far, you like the idea of sitting at the desk all day, or do you hate it yet?
Yeah, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I prefer to work with my hands a little bit more. I definitely think that I would like to be the guy who like cuts the glass and works with the glass and installs the glass and stuff like that. But with someone with a bad back like I do, and just having that physical ass job, it is so much nicer to be sitting behind a desk than it is to be working with.
That's
my
true.
hands
Your
and
back
shit.
is torn.
Dude, my back is fucked up, but yeah, no, I don't mind it. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a weird transition because I remember when I was at Little Caesars, I used to hate answering the phone. I used to hate going on to fucking customer service or like going up to the front register. and
Weren't you
working
like
that.
fucking 17?
Yeah,
Well, a lot of 17-year-olds don't like doing that.
Oh
type
yeah,
of
dude.
shit.
I realized working this job for like a day, I was like, okay, I'm not like that anymore. I can actually talk to people now and not get pissed off. I used to fucking hate that shit. God.
Anything new with you, Maxie?
I got this contract doing some renovation out there in St.
Yes,
Bernard.
you were talking about this.
Yeah, did some siding, doing some demolition.
Yeah.
Got to swing some heavy stuff. I like it. I like doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Keeps
Do you
me
think
busy.
you could ever be at a like sit down full time type of job, or do you always see yourself doing like the manual labor stuff?
Well, I mean, I got one more year of classes for political science, so I'm guessing maybe I might. But I've never really been one of those guys that are like desk bound. I fucking hate it. Even though I like to talk and have ideas and write and have things like that, but that's like middle of the night type epiphanies.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's not something I want to do during the day. But I don't know. I like doing the house renovation and shit, but I mean it's decent money too.
Well, yeah, you can't.
You know,
do that.
you can't really beat it for what it is.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can work 6 hours and, you know, make yourself a couple $100, you know, fucking $1,200 in a week just for going and doing half-ass shit, you know?
Right.
I mean, not half-ass work, but, you know, not
Yeah, just
necessarily
like not
working
the
your
most
ass to
grueling
death.
work.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, you can, it's decent. I enjoy it. I'm going on a fucking vacation, yo.
Virginia tomorrow morning.
I'm going to Virginia.
VA.
See my buddy King down there.
Okay.
We rented a house in Winchester.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
Yes, it's nice.
Sounds like they have horses there. Yeah.
Probably do.
They probably do, but doesn't
No, it
Winchester
sounds
sound
like
like
a
they'd have like
colonial
stables
barn, yeah.
and like yes.
Well, I mean, I think it's quite colonial there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. Just all of Virginia.
But yeah, we're gonna be going there. See my buddy King. He lives in Fredericksburg, I guess. It's like an hour away. But if I'm gonna be an hour away from a dude I see every 5 years, I mean, I can make the trip.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
Hour-long trip ain't shit. Bro.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. It's like from here to Monroe.
Right.
Like,
How long is it a drive for you to get to where you're going to
like
Winchester?
8 and a half
that
hours.
it?
Yeah, eight and a half hours.
Is it
something like
more
that.
in the is it towards the shore or is it more inland?
Well, it's like close to DC.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you a big snack guy in the car? What's
Not-
like your go-to driving snack?
Copenhagen.
Oh, really?
That is my go-to drive thing.
Yeah.
I get myself a nice can of Copenhagen and a nice spitter.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
patoinking the whole way there.
Patoinking. It's just patoinking your way away.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? Like, if you're in a car ride, do you have like a go-to every time?
I mean, it's my to go to like gas station snack is a Reese's fucking king-sized Reese's Fast Break every time, and you didn't know what the fuck those were.
I didn't know what those were. Yeah.
Was it like a month or two ago?
It was a couple months back. It was
Yeah.
it was very recent.
I can't believe that, dude, because those things are so good. But to be completely honest, when I'm driving, I like to just get there. Like I like as little stops as possible. Just
Right,
drive
right.
all the way through. The dude driving with Miller sometimes, bro.
Oh, wow.
Driving a 4-hour drive and this dude stops
Just
3
dead.
fucking times. Like, are you kidding me, man?
Oh, I figured he would just like pass out for the whole 4 hours.
No.
I could see that being a
Yeah,
possibility.
like,
too.
oh, I'm taking her there. As soon as he closes the door.
It's like fucking. It's like, oh, I need to get Zaxby's on the way down there, and then we stop and get Zaxby's, and we start driving, and then 30 minutes later, he's like, oh, I don't have any gas, I need to get gas. Like, what the fuck? And then 30 minutes later, oh, I need to take a piss. Like, dude, what? Do all this shit
Once.
halfway through.
Love you, Miller.
Love you too, bro, but fuck you.
I'm a big depending on when I leave. I don't usually do energy drinks or anything like that. But if I'm leaving early or leaving late from somewhere, I always try to get a Red Bull in my system.
Yeah.
And
Red
then-
Bull, it's good to have a Red Bull every once in a while.
Yeah,
But
and I'm a big
sometimes-
fan. I'm a fan of the big bags of candy, not like huge, but like gummy worms, like sour gummy worms or gummy
Haribos.
bears. Yeah,
Oh, you
just
know what I'm
like
talking about,
just
Sour
things.
Patch Kids
Yeah,
type
yeah,
shit?
not
Yeah.
something that I can just finish right there, but like I can pick at over the course.
It would for sure have to be like a tart candy or something like that
Mm-hmm.
because chocolate, I mean, it's just too messy.
Yeah.
You know? You can't go back for it. You bite into it and then it's all of a sudden like you have to eat it all.
Right, because it'll just melt.
Yeah, it's just
Keep it in the wrapper.
and I can't do the.
You keep it in the wrapper.
Oh,
No,
I
what
can
is
only
wrong with you?
I love chocolate, but so much chocolate I
Yeah.
can't. Like I can't do it over an extended period of time. If I'm eating chocolate, I just want a candy bar
And that's about
in
it.
that moment, and then that like satisfies me. I wouldn't want to just like keep snacking on.
Yo, speaking
chocolate
of
The
snacks,
stuff.
way my dad eats chocolate is disgusting sometimes. It really does.
there is nothing better like this than a damn chocolate malt, a giant chocolate malt.
I love fucking chocolate.
Extra thick.
Yes.
Man, you suck on that thing until you're done with it. It legitimately comes back up.
This dude has been talking about a large chocolate malt
Giant.
from UDF
I love it.
for like months since we moved in this bitch. Finally gets one, and fucking I see it in the fridge the next day, and that motherfucker was like 3/4 of the way
I
through.
couldn't even fucking drink it, bro.
Wait, what are you doing? He finally decided to go get one and just like, I'm gonna take a couple sips and just put it away. And it's not gonna be as good when you try it the second time.
Dude, it was still fucking good. But I couldn't drink it, man. Like
Well, yeah.
It's like-
After you put it in the fridge, I don't think did you just go spoon? I'm assuming
no,
the second time, or did it still come through the straw?
It stayed perfect, man.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. It
Okay.
was almost a damn miracle. It was like, you know, when
It
Jesus
is a
like
damn miracle.
You know, when Jesus like made more bread and more fucking
Yeah,
more
the wine
fish.
and the fish stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like all that, but my malt stayed like edible. It was just like the perfect thing, dude. It was a miracle for me. That day, I went back to church.
Oh,
Yeah, I went back to church that Sunday. I was like,
I think
you know
that's
what?
a good reason, honestly, to get back into the game. Is,
Really, though? I mean-
malt not melting.
If something were to
Malt
change your
staying with
mind
consistency.
to return to the Catholic Church, what would it be?
To make me go every
Yeah, like
Sunday,
every Sunday.
Bengals
just be
Super
like a-
Bowl.
Bengals
Actually,
Super
it
Bowl?
doesn't even have to be the Bengals. If I can just win a championship, if I win a championship, like either Bearcat basketball, Bearcat football, just something Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, something Cincinnati related. If we can bring home a championship, I'll go back to church every Sunday.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. Jesus.
Super Bowl. Looks like you never going back to church, bro.
The church is not going to have your name on it.
No, they're not going to save room in the pew for old Al.
Yeah, no.
They're like, oh, he's banking this on the Bengals? Well, I don't know. Speaking of miracles, actually, one, I'm a survivor. My AC went out for a day and a half last week.
Oh my god! I was like, "What stupid shit is he about to relate this to, bro?"
You're a survivor.
Yeah, my AC went out.
Actually, that's pretty bad.
Have you seen my physique? I'm not built. I was melting like a large vanilla cone in the sun.
I'll give you that. Fucking that chapstick AC is way above fucking chapstick, bro.
Well, first of all, I agree because chapstick is the devil's work.
Yes, it's straight. Yeah.
But so my
Lucifer
AC went
balm.
out for a day and a
That's what it
half, and I don't know how, because there are people that still, not a ton of people, but like, okay, let's just pick on the Amish. They don't do AC. What are they doing? Like how? Well, they're never going to hear this, so who cares?
Because they're Luddites, aren't they?
They what?
Luddites?
What is that? I don't know.
A
What
person that just, I guess,
just
despises
against
fucking
all
technology.
Okay, I've never heard that term, but yeah. So I don't know how they live like that. I mean, Jesus.
To be completely honest, I'm not even sure if that's correct. I think that AC might, there Amish people might have AC, because I don't think they're quite as dumbed down as people really think that they.
Nobody said they're dumbed down. It's part of the religion.
Well, dumbed.
Well, simplified in terms of like the technology. If I went into like an Amish like village or whatever they've got set up around here, I would honestly yell at any of them if they had technology. I'll be like, no, you either go full Amish or you get the hell out of here.
I think they do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're going full Amish, then I'll respect it. I don't know how they do it.
No, I mean, I
could
think
never.
in their communities they do that. Like,
Oh, they like kick people
yeah,
out.
it's Romspringer, right? So you get a period of time.
Oh yeah, Amish people definitely do that.
They do the
When they
Rom
kick
Springer
their
thing,
children
yes.
out.
And you get a period of time to see if you want to stay Amish or like move on to
Just normal-ish life.
The norm, I guess. But if you choose the norm, you are now shunned from your family.
Oh,
Yeah.
that stinks. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, and they have apparently there's a really bad thing where like most of the people who go out and leave just like don't come back type shit. So, but I think that you're supposed to like shun yourself from the family, but because of the modern age, they still like accept them back in because I mean it's like your family. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how.
But that is the thing where they
Yes.
send like their children like when you reach a certain age, like say 20.
But I think
I have heard of the Rum Springer.
I think there's like strict forms of like Mormonism and like the Amish and other religions that do like if you pick something other than this, like Orthodox Jews too. Like if you pick something other than this, then you are not going to be part of our family. Pretty much. Sucks.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Or you can or they'll come visit you, but you can't visit the village. You know, shit like weird
Just
rules
weird
like
rules.
that. Yeah,
It's like, oh, you betrayed us.
that's exactly how they look at it. Yes,
Well, luckily my AC turned back on. I don't have to become
an Amish
an
person.
Amish person. I don't know. There's got to be a.
What would be your Amish name? Like, would you be like an Ezekiel or like? it would
Ooh,
have to
maybe
be, like,
maybe an
biblical name.
Abraham.
Oof, that's
Dude,
a good one.
Just a. I mean, a big fella named Abe.
Cletus.
Cletus.
Mine's
Okay.
Cletus.
What are you thinking, Max?
Ooh, me, dude. I don't know, Gideon or something like that.
Gideon.
Yeah,
Ooh.
something like that.
I love when that name just reminded me of like all the names from like Game of Thrones, and now I'm just thinking of like Sir Gregor Clegane and like Sir Davos Seaworth. I mean the fire time names, but I think
Fire time.
That's a new one. I've
That's
never
a
heard
fire
that.
time.
I
like
don't know where that came from, but
It
yeah,
has legs, bro.
but names. I mean, folks, I can't tell you this podcast is going to take off. I am a Quarter of a trillionaire. They knew exactly where this is going. I am a quarter of a trillionaire.
Okay. Now I know where you're going.
DJnames.com.
Jesus Christ.
Trademark.
And how is this going to work out, Alex?
So this is okay.
Give
So
us a rundown.
DJnames.com.
Give us your business plan, bro.
It's basically, yeah. I should have come in with a better pitch. I just kind of wrote it down, but I should have written
all good.
whatever. I think this is going to be pretty good.
You can save the other one for the bank.
You're going to buy it. That's true. I am going to pitch this to a bank, but basically, like babynames.com. But I'm going to charge
But
these
it's
people.
DJ name.
Yeah, but it's DJ names because babynames.com, they're missing out on a ton by just giving you the freaking names. I'm not going to give you the names. You're going to go to djnames.com and then, you know what? I thought about this yesterday. You fill out maybe like a 10 question, like your hobbies, your this, your that. And then it's like a little quiz that makes your DJ name.
Oh, okay. So like
Something along those names. Yeah.
This goes against your original business.
Well,
plan. So
I'm going to be
buy
the
up every
I'm
fucking
going to
combination of terms you
I'm
can.
going to be the person at the other end, basically being like taking all of this information in.
Oh.
And just also, it won't be a robot
Oh,
giving you
so
your name.
fuck-
It's going to be all for me, but you're going to take the
coding,
quiz.
Fuck algorithms. You're just going to fucking personally. watch
yeah,
every
that's
single person
literally-
That's why
Yeah.
it's going to be like his.
Yeah,
The entrepreneurship is real here.
It's
Are you charging people more for the fucking DJ names?
No. It's an Alex algorithm. So I am on the other end. That's not terrible.
Oh my god.
But
An Alex algorithm.
yeah, so it's not an algorithm, it's an Alex algorithm. But so yeah, I'll be at the other end. You basically just obviously everybody listening to this knows upwards of 50 to 100 people at any given moment looking for a DJ name, and they're like, I can't find it. You'll come to this website and you'll give me so the best part is you just give a quarter. That's it. You just give a quarter, but this is a quantity, not quality thing. If enough people, because people will do it almost in a joking manner of being like, oh yeah, I'll do this. It's only a quarter.
Yeah.
And then I'll be on the other end like, no, idiot. It's my fucking quarter now. And I'll be getting that from the 50 to 100 people that each and every person knows looking for DJ names on a given day.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm talking, it is a quantity
bank.
thing, but yeah, let's say 1 trillion people visit the site in, I don't know, ballpark the first year. And then I'm a quarter of a trillionaire. So,
So
I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's my idea. But trademark, I said trademark like 8 times. I don't know how.
So selling a DJ name is going to make you $250 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be something?
It sure the fuck would. That would be something.
Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? I mean, people have become famous for much smaller things, I feel like. Maybe not smaller,
probably
but
not.
like just like
Are you
simple
famous
things.
or rich?
I'm going to be both.
Okay.
I mean, people on the DJ market are going to be like, "Oh, where'd you get your name?"
He's going to be like Mark Cuban.
Yeah, but I mean, people on the DJ market are going to be like, "Oh, did you get your name by originality, or did you get it from Al?" And people will be like, "Oh, I got it from DJ
I
names."
thought it was double XL.
Double XL is my DJ name. That was actually dawned upon by Maxie. Gave me that nickname. So
Yes.
Double XL is a very good DJ nickname.
That's actually a pretty dope DJ name.
It's an insanely good DJ.
We were
nickname.
still thinking about Keith's because he's an
really
aspiring DJ.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
how this whole fucking topic got brought up. You with the DJnames.com
Yeah.
was because you and Miller and just everyone else who's hopped in now, they just keep giving me new DJ names. All the
The circle thing?
Yeah.
Spheres?
I don't know, but every single one of those that just had my middle name in it is probably getting deleted. from
Uncle
this
Kitty?
podcast.
You don't like Uncle Kitty?
What are the they're just called turntables, right?
Yeah.
Spilly
The
turntables.
decks or whatever.
The decks. Okay. We'll workshop it. I've got some in mind, but yeah, you don't like your middle name, which is
Dude,
gross.
I posted something on Facebook. I was like, okay, I need help deciding my fucking DJ name. Is it the Spillmeister, which I've always gone with, or Spill?
And
there
nobody-
were 20 comments of just people posting fucking different names than what I had allotted.
I'll be honest with you, dude.
I was like, are you guys putting fucking write-ins and multiple choice fucking answers right now? Like,
We
what
sure
the
did.
fuck is going on here?
The Spillmeister, I'm not about. If we're going just between those, it would be Spills. The Spillmeister is kind of the funny. It's just like a funny play. The Spillmeister could almost be like your final act of the night. Like, oh, here comes the Spillmeister. You know, like it's almost like a secondary character of
It's
yourself.
after intermission.
Yeah. Like,
That's like
he's
your-
entering like.
See, I thought
Like
about
what's the Goku guy?
like
Doesn't
an
he
alter
change
ego?
into somebody else?
he
Super
changes
Saiyan?
into a Super Saiyan, but
Yeah. So that could be like your next mode.
Oh
actually
my
fucking
God.
lit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If you start hitting the beat,
That's what I kind of had too, because I always like I could use it as the Spillmeister and make my name the Spillmeister, but still be referred to as Spills and shit like that. But fucking, I'm Spills and I evolve into the.
that's what I'm saying. As the night goes on, once people are
And you put a big fucking M on your fucking forehead, dude.
LS Dream, remember
And your
what?
Spills Meister, bro.
Remember when
Yes.
LS Dream backed up to the fucking monitor or the
Yes.
video screen, put his arms out and his whole body illuminated? I do the same thing, but with the fucking little.
And you just scream for 35 minutes.
Bro, that's half my fucking set right there. Yeah,
dude, this is write that down.
I don't need to write that one down.
That's what I'm saying. That was a really good idea.
That one's right here.
That was a really good idea.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Now you have him thinking that he's a fucking Super Saiyan.
Oh, bro, I've been a super.
Well, for the crowd decides basically. Like
Ooh.
you have to, yeah. I mean, it's a whole energy about it. So when everybody's getting pumped, you must have to have like a noise meter or something of the sort.
Yeah, when
the noise meter
starts.
when the noise meter hits a certain level,
That's when
then
I
you
turn
go,
into Super Saiyan.
yes. That's actually not bad. These are so good.
This is actually pretty dope. And for the rave community, like anywhere else, I don't know if that would necessarily.
But for
go
the
off.
rave
Like,
community,
Yeah,
the
dude,
rave
they would
community be so
split
high.
their wig, bro.
Bro, I show up to fucking raves all the time, just decked out in Dragon Ball Z and Naruto gear.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fucking, Like, I go anywhere else, people are gonna be like, "Who is this fucking idiot?"
Oh,
I
yeah,
go
it's
there
true.
and like people are like, "Dude, that's a dope shirt." I'm like, "Oh my
Right.
god."
So speaking of, there's something over there, goodies. There's a package for you. I don't know. It's probably one of those shirts that you buy.
I think
Oh,
I
did you
know
buy
what
a
it is.
shirt?
No, I got a fucking Gohan beanie, bro.
Oh my
Go
lord.
see. I don't know
Teen
who
Gohan
is.
beanie, bro. Teen Gohan, the baddest
Who is that?
motherfucker in all Dragon Ball.
Who is that in? Well, I thought Goku
What?
was the,
Wait,
the
hold on.
good
Did
guy.
you just ask who Gohan was?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to me. I thought you
Why?
were like, you don't
I've never
smoke.
seen Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god. Dude.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of them bitches.
I am one of
Yeah,
them
he's one of
bitches.
them.
Yeah.
I am one of them bitches.
It's me. I'm the bitches. I have never seen Dragon Ball Z. There was other shows that you guys watched as kids. That Avatar. I've never watched Avatar. I mean, there's a lot of them. I've just never
I'm
been
not
a
even gonna
huge.
sit here and lie. If you like Disney shows and stuff like that, you probably would enjoy the fuck out of The Last Airbender, bro.
I might.
Yeah, and it's
I
on
just never
Netflix
gave it a
now.
shot.
I'd watch it on Netflix, bro. I'll
The,
watch it with you. You can come over here. We'll watch. We'll
We'll
watch
watch
fucking
together.
Airbender. Yeah, when the night's coming down, we just turn it on the TV. We'll watch The Last Airbender, bro.
A little Netflix and chill.
Yeah, bro.
Seems like you're going other places with this.
Oh, you can suck my pee if you
Oh,
want to.
Ooh,
Wow.
PP.
It's hard to find, dude. TikTok and 2 watermelons, but you know.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Sounds like you got a problem there.
yeah, that actually, you might want to see a doctor.
I got a little problem and a big problem. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Any other random pieces of information that has been going on with you guys? Are you billionaires? Any other ideas in your noggins? Any other cool things that have happened over the past week?
No, not really.
Oh, did you know there's not a disease of like a phobia of circles clustered together?
There's a phobia of everything, bro.
It's
Well,
called
I mean-
trypophobia.
The Olympics are a motherfucker for those people.
Oh my god, I bet they are.
Oh Jesus.
Dude, can you imagine just like seeing like a
Lord.
beehive and throwing up?
Beehives aren't circles, bro.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are-
well,
they're
it's just like
hexagons.
it's not like it doesn't have to be like a perfect circle, but just like circular things, like clusters of like round object kind of deals. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't know how that got brought to my attention,
pores.
but I wrote
do,
it
do
down.
pores fuck people up?
Probably, yeah. If there's like
Can you
a bunch
imagine feeling
together.
sick as fuck in your geometry class?
Oh,
Like, what is this? Oh Jesus. Yeah, no, I did not know that. There's a lot of weird phobias though.
do you have any phobias?
Spiders.
Yeah, I don't like spiders. I'm not
I do
like
not fuck with spiders.
terrified.
I don't
but
really
I don't like
like.
spiders.
I guess like needles. I don't like needles. I don't. It doesn't bother me. Well, how can I put it? When I go get my my blood drawn or something like that, I look like I'm fine, but inside I'm like, God damn it, fuck me, God damn, I don't really, God damn it, I really
It's like
don't.
talking
God,
yourself
yeah.
out of it.
But outside, it's just like this plain face with this like, hey, yeah, I'm back again.
Yeah.
Check me out.
When I was a kid, I used to love needles. Like I would ask my mom to go get shots at the fucking doctor. This was when I was real little. Like
Okay,
before
Ted
school.
Bundy. What
I
the
swear to
fuck
God,
weird
bro.
shit.
this